That one's definitely a cautionary tale to me of what you should and shouldn't do when you're going into an arranged marriage. So greetings all and welcome back. I know it's been a minute since you've all seen my face, but I hope you all had a wonderful June and a lovely start to your summer. So technically it is July, but yesterday was my birthday. I've been on a little bit of a sabbatical from home. As you can tell, I'm not in my usual spot at home. I am away for a few days to celebrate my birthday, but I wanted to come back to you guys and show my face for a little bit and talk your guys' ears off a little bit about what I read in June. I'm not gonna make it long, but I do want to get into a few of the books that I read in June because they really, as usual, it's nothing new here. I'm always reading great books, but yeah, I'm gonna get into them. So stay tuned for what I read in June. Forgive me if I move around a little bit more than usual. I'm not used to standing while I film. You know, I'm getting up there in age. My knees aren't the same as they used to be, so I might be bouncing around a little bit just to keep the blood flowing a little bit in my knees. But anyway, let's get into these reads for June. So first up, we have Wanderlust by Tay Russ, and I'm getting a phone call. I will be back. So Peyton, why do I know how to say Peyton? Peyton. I'll have it up on the screen. I don't like the way I say the name, so I'm just gonna put it up on the screen. She is a romance writer with serious writer's block. So she takes a sabbatical from her writing at the suggestion of her best friend, and her best friend funds, I guess you could say she funds her week away to a resort. It's like a glamping resort, which I think is a super cool idea. So she goes on a sabbatical for a week. I think it's a week she goes away for. And the first day that she arrives, she meets Maverick, who is one of the owners of the resort. And there's like this instant chemistry between the two of them that is very well depicted, I guess you can say, on the pages. So you can see it right from the start that, like, yeah, they're I don't want to say twin flames because now I'm questioning that phrase now after watching a documentary on Netflix. Anyway, so Peyton and Maverick kind of have this instant chemistry from the first time they meet, and he helps her find her muse, which I love. Like, when I think of a muse, or have thought of a muse in the past, it's like a person, like a living person who inspires artists, or maybe not even just a living person, a living thing. It's a living thing that inspires an artist to paint or write or whatever, music. But in this case, her muse is another part of herself, the part of herself that helps her write these incredible stories. And I just love that. I love that her muse is herself, like her creative self that helps her write. And I just love that. And he helps her find that part of herself again, in the most beautiful ways. So 5-star read, highly recommend it. Check it out. Wanderlust by Tay Russ, available on Amazon. I will have everything that I mentioned today linked in the description as usual, so you guys can check it out. All right, so next up, so the next several books that I'm going to mention are part of a series called the Arranged Heart series. They are a series of books about couples who choose arranged marriage as their path to their life partners. So Arranged Hearts in these books is a matchmaking service, a premium matchmaking service. So you're paying thousands of dollars for these folks to help you find your mate. So each couple goes into an interview with I guess one of the they're members. I'm not 100% sure what their titles are in the organization, but they're the matchmakers. They sit down with the matchmakers and they do the interview. So it's an extensive process. They do background checks, they do psych evaluations and all that good stuff, so that they know the people that are being matched are at least on paper decent people, and they make a good match for whoever they're matching. So there are 6 books. There are 6 books in this series, excuse me. I guess I'll go in the order that I read them. So the first one that I read was called Passion, and that one was by Monica Walters. I think this one was the most, I don't want to say problematic. I don't know what word I want to use to describe this book. I don't want to say problematic. I'll say the female main character was a little problematic because she entered this situation not telling any of her family or friends what she was doing, and her children's father, because she is a single mother. She decided to have children with one of her with her best friend, who is obviously a male. She decided to have children with her best friend. Neither one of them allegedly are romantically attracted to each other, so they're just friends, and they decided to have kids together, which I think could be a recipe for a disaster. Yeah, she doesn't tell him that she's decided to pretty much do a similar thing like she did with the kids, an arrangement to get married, just like she did an arrangement with her best friend to have kids. So she goes into this by herself, telling no one. This is the one where well, I'm sorry, let me tell you the names of the characters. Okay, so the 2 who get matched up in Passion are Giselle and Gentry. So Giselle, she has 2 kids already, like I said, with her best friend. Decides to get match made or get her match made. Yeah, so she's matched up with Gentry. Pretty passionate throughout the whole book, the 2 of them, in positive and not so positive ways, I guess you could say. Like I said, Giselle decides to do this without telling anyone, so you can just imagine the fallout. The fallout, like, is very, very problematic there. But I rated this one, I believe, 3.5 stars. Yeah, 3.5 stars for that one. I think for me personally, in a situation like that, you gotta stand 10 toes down. 10 toes down. If you're gonna choose to do arranged marriage, you gotta stand 10 toes down on your decision, and just like be real with everybody in your life, regardless of how they feel about it, if that's the choice that you're going to make. And my girl Giselle, she didn't do that, and she paid the consequences. But I think it's still a good story to learn from, I think. And I think a major lesson that I learned throughout this whole series, if you're choosing arranged marriage, you have to know yourself. You have to be very well versed in yourself and how you communicate. Communication is the biggest thing in a situation like this, because yikes if you don't. Giselle's a perfect example of what happens when you don't communicate properly. And even within her relationship with Gentry, it's a little rough. It's a little rough going. It's a little rough, not even a little, it's a lot of rough going through most of the book. So that's what I have to say about that. It's definitely a cautionary tale to me of what you should and shouldn't do when you're going into an arranged marriage. So the next one I read was Surrender by Kimberly Brown. Y'all already know Kimberly Brown is one of my girls when it comes to the romance genre, black romance genre. Yeah, Surrender by Kimberly Brown. Pretty sure this was a 5-star. Yeah, this one was a 5-star for me. So this one followed Cashel and Jacob. met at the altar, instant chemistry, beautiful, beautiful relationship these two had. They're obviously, the matchmakers knew what they were doing. They communicated well. Neither one of their families was happy about their decision. No. So they had issues there with their family. I love this one because it is another lesson in what it's going to be like if you choose an arranged marriage. Your families, I mean, an arranged marriage that's not being arranged by people that you know, like you're being arranged by strangers. So the people in your life are going to feel a way about it. So just be prepared for that. And I love that they were pretty much prepared for that, those reactions that they got from their families, mostly their parents. Their siblings came around quicker than their parents did. But yeah, I loved how Jacob stood 10 toes down for his wife. It was a beautiful thing to see. But yeah, beautiful story. Next up, we have Tension by Simone. I think that's how you say her last name, Monet. In Tension, there was plenty of tension in this one. So Mariah and Dakota, another lesson in how intentional you have to be when you're entering into a relationship in general, but in this special situation where you're being put together, you're basically marrying a stranger. Like, they don't, and that's another thing I don't think I mentioned in this particular situation. You're once you get matched, you're basically getting married in a matter of a few days or a week, and you don't get to know anything about the person or see them until you meet them at the altar. So there's that. So it's very much like, God, what is the name of that show on Netflix? Love is Blind, I think. Very much like that, except they don't get to talk to each other beforehand at all. And that one, I believe Tension was a 4-star for me. Excuse me. Give me a second. Get some water. I'm so not used to talking on camera anymore that my throat is like, what are you doing? Major issues, I think, between the couple in this book, in Tension, was insecurities and trust issues. Which, like I said, before you get into a situation like this, and I'm not saying you have to be perfect, because yeah, that's not happening. But if you know you already have trust issues on certain things, or you have certain insecurities, it's definitely important to be upfront about that. And again, I can't see how you could get into an arranged marriage when you know you have trust issues, because you're going to have to trust somebody or something in order to marry a stranger, for sure. Anyway, so on to the next one. Next, we have Embrace by Maya. I believe one was another 3.5 stars for me. Oh, this was the Friends to Lovers one. Oh my goodness. I was like, that is an expensive way to find out that your best friend is your soulmate. That's real crazy. That's real crazy to me. Like, just reading the description of this one, I was tripping, because I was like, y'all been knowing each other since y'all was babies. How y'all not know? Or how, maybe they did know on some level and just was like, oh, she did say that, the main character. So Suvi and Blaze. Suvi mentioned that she didn't want to mess up their friendship. Okay, I get that a lot in Friends to Lovers types of stories. They didn't want to get involved with each other because past relationships have ended badly. They didn't want to ruin the friendship if it didn't work out. Cool, I get that. But dang, that is an expensive way to figure out that you should have just gave it a try. That's crazy to me. And for him to, he only did this or signed up for the I don't know why I'm stuttering so much today. He only signed up for this thing for Arranged Hearts to appease her because she was nervous about doing it. So he's like, oh, I'll do it with you so you feel better about it. But like, And he was like, if he didn't like who he met at the altar, he was gonna leave. I was like, you would really do that to somebody you don't know? Even to somebody you do know. Like, it's bad enough you do that to somebody you do know, leaving them at the altar. Would you really do that to a stranger? I guess they do that a lot in that show, huh? I never watched Love is Blind, but you know, I think I've seen some clips of people getting left at the altar. So I mean, I guess people do it, but I just think it's insensitive, and especially spending that much money to leave somebody at the, like, girl, make it make sense, okay? But other than that, the story was cute. Like I said, I just thought that was a very expensive way to figure that out. That's real crazy to me. Anyway, moving on to the next one. We have Allure by Aisha Bree. This was another 5-star for me, I believe. Yes, this was another 5-star for me. This one was about Lore and Nico. Apparently, I thought it was a pleasant surprise. I'm trying to remember because I've already started my July reading, so my brain is a little all over the place. I'm just gonna read what I wrote because I don't know. I don't really remember. Okay, so I said that Lore and Nico were the perfect example of two people who knew their worth, knew what they wanted, and had good heads on their shoulders, and were intentional about their approach to marriage, which I think is, yeah, that's probably 100% why I gave it 5 stars, because I thought that this particular couple had the right approach to marriage in general, I guess. Once again, we had family drama and personal insecurities, but they never let that stop them from communicating and being intentional about that. They supported each other, gave each other space to work through their issues. I think that's good. Okay. I'm like reading my own review of it, and I'm like, okay, girl, that sounds like a good story I would read. Okay. I guess I'll read that part to you. I said, Aisha did a beautiful job depicting such a unique storyline. It was well written, completely engaging, and felt complete without being too long. Highly recommended. So I highly recommend it, y'all. I'm highly recommending it to myself because, like I said, I've already moved on and read, I think, 3 books by now since this one. So my brain is elsewhere at the moment. So yes, 5 stars on Allure by Aisha Bree. And last but certainly not least, my girl Kay Shanae came through with Desire. That was another 5-star. I already know because she always giving 5-star energy. Apparently I couldn't put it down, y'all. I couldn't put it down. So this one covered. This one followed Desire and Azil. I believe that's how you say his name. I'm going to read you the review again, because at this point I'm like, my brain is exiting the building. So Desire and Azil were absolutely explosive together in the best way possible. Their relationship wasn't without its obstacles, but both of them stood 10 toes down. I'm very much into this 10 toes down phrase, apparently, on their communication. And I couldn't be more satisfied with the outcome. His past and present could have set their whole world aflame, and I'm going to need men to start listening to their women about other women the first time, but they didn't let it get the best of them. Another Kay Shanae hit. Highly recommended. 5 stars. Well, 5 stars. If I'm remembering what happened there, I'm not gonna even get into it if I do remember, because like I said, I'm not very big on giving spoilers. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Hopefully that review piqued your interest and you'll go check it out. But like I said, all of these were great reads this past month in June. Really, my 5 stars in that series really had me considering arranged marriage for a second. Not any arranged marriage, but by arranged hearts. Like if they're producing results like this, I'm gonna need somebody number, email or something so I could call, email, let them know, listen, I ain't got the dough right now, but could you put me on a waiting list or something, because I need this service now. Really had me considering it, and I'm not even kidding. But anyway, I've held you guys long enough. Like I said before, all of these stories will be linked below. I'll either have the Amazon link or linked directly to the author's website, whichever way they have it, either on Amazon or, like I said, on their website. What else do I need to tell you all? Like I said, I'm already into my July reads, so I'll be coming back either at the top of August. I have a very long list for July, so just like y'all ain't see me in June, y'all probably won't see me no more in July because I'll be deep in the books. But I will be back with hopefully all of the things that I TBR'd for July will get read, and I'll have a review for you all, or reviews for you all. So if you want to see more content like this, there will be some videos linked at the end of this video so you can check them out. Thank you all again for watching. I didn't say it once already, so thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed your time here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace.